gosh, I got some buddies too, man. I hope they come in and ask us questions. I want to open up like a voicemail thing.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
All right, I'm pretty sure we're live, man. Let me just look.
Yeah, we're on air. I see it.
Hell yeah. All right, baby. Let's go. New era. Find your inner pirate, Drew.
We're finally, I mean, look, this has been kind of a shoddy operation for a couple of years now. I'm not going to lie. But we're here. We're
Here,
talking
man.
about football on March 1st.
We've made it, dude. Drew and
Yeah.
we did a little test run with this about 10, 15 minutes ago, running into some technical problems. But, man, like you said, it's kind of been a shoddy operation. But I choose to look at it like this, man. Find your inner pirate, little media company I want to start. I mean, we're just at the beginning, but I feel like we've already found the buried treasure. We found the treasure that year at OU together, man. Me and you we always were both entrepreneurs, and now we've really bonded over football. And I mean, there's no telling where we could go with this shit, Drew. I think we've
Yeah.
already found our buried treasure. Now we're setting sail for a new goal. We're trying to get some more pirates on board, baby. Try and build a pirate ship.
Come on in. The water's warm.
Yes.
We may have warmed it up with our pee.
Hot piss. Nothing like
Just come on in the water.
Nothing like getting
You'll
a
enjoy it.
hot piss on your arm, just rub it in. That's what pirate life is, man. You don't know. We're looking for buried treasure and pirate booty and all that shit. I mean, it's going to get messy, but that's the beauty of this podcast, man. I know it's going to be football, sports related, and that's what it's been over the years. But, man, I'm really branching out with Find Your Inner Pirate, doing some movie reviews, some album reviews. I mean, there's no telling, man, what the Survivor podcast I did last weekend. There's no telling where this thing could end up going, man. And so I think we got a really good thing going, Drew. Me and you chatting football the last couple years, mainly on Twitter Spaces, but this is just a complete game changer, bro.
And look, you're talking about we've already found the buried treasure. I think the beauty of this, the beauty of sports, podcasting, and everything is it brings people together. I mean, you've been in our fantasy football league for 2 years straight now. You come up to Chattanooga to do a live draft here with the people. We're all sitting in a room together. How often does that happen? That you get people out of their daily routine to all come together and hang out and, even come out of their city to come do this draft. That is the beauty of football. It's the beauty of what we're building here. It brings people together.
Couldn't have said
That's
it better
why I love
myself, man. Me and you go way back, Drew. We met each other at a really special time at that year at OU, and I had to go through some processes to kind of get to this point. Had to go through the Andrew DeShulo experience out in Vegas. I mean, I wish I had this up and going for that podcast. It's still out there on the internet. It's on my old YouTube page, Vegas time. That was back when it was facts only football.
I remember that.
And it's been a process, man. But like I said, I feel like that in that process, we've found our buried treasure. I found the guy that I really want to build this with, and it's you, man. It's football, it's fantasy, it's gambling, it's all that shit, man. And yeah, going up there to Chattanooga is like the highlight of my year, so I can't wait to come up in a couple months for the wedding.
Yeah,
Masha, it's gonna be great.
It is. We got a good one planned. Not gonna lie there.
We really do, man. So we got some stuff on the agenda today for kind of our first video pod. My work, I get to use a lot of free time in vehicles and just kind of come up with shit, and been listening to a ton of music, man. Obviously, probably my biggest inspiration in the media content game is Bill Simmons. His
Mhm.
podcast, been listening to him religiously for about 10 years. And that's kind of how I see Find Your Inner Pirate kind of being a mixture of The Ringer, which he built, and it's kind of a podcast network, and Barstool Sports. Just the authenticity, the comedy. But I think we can add a little bit more hardcore X's and O's football talk, man. So we're going to talk a little bit about the draft coming up, the combine this week. I'm fascinated by the scouting um, element of football, especially. And so we kind of get two worlds colliding this week in Indianapolis, man. And I can't get enough of it, Drew. I know for you it's not as huge of a thing because you're not a college guy. And Drew really is. He's a diehard Chiefs fan. We're going to have a little bit of a therapy session for him in a second. It's just been a tough few weeks for Chiefs Nation since that Super Bowl, but man, we got something electric going here, man. Once a week, me and you, buddy, we'll always be able to sit down like this, talk NFL, talk gambling. We love fantasy. We've done these summer preview episodes the last couple summers, man, and they're just great. I was listening to some old ones this week. That AFC South one was incredible, dude. We were talking about all these running backs too, and it was kind of the year of the running back in a way. We've
Yeah,
seen the run game come back like it has, and man, it's exciting.
it is. Jay, you're right. I am in the trenches on the Chiefs. I mean, that's where I get all of my football knowledge. It's where I get my knowledge of prospects. Like, yeah, I don't know a single quarterback prospect outside of Shador and Cam Ward
Yeah,
because it's not on my radar. Um,
yeah. With Mahomes, man, you have no worries
right.
about that.
But this is where I really dig in and start to learn prospects. I'm not into the college football scene as much, but I will figure out all of the relevant prospects that are relevant to the Chiefs.
Uh huh.
And that's the perspective I bring in there. And yeah, I mean, look, it's March 1st. Like, this is kind of I guess it's a fairly alive time with the combine and everything, but really anybody that's going to be tuning into this is a trencher. I
Yeah.
mean, if you're watching this in March, you're a fucking pirate. You're a trencher. You're in it with us. Like,
It's beautiful,
that's what
man.
it is.
And we'll keep it comedic too, me and you, man. We'll have some funny shit, but also just man, John Gruden going back to the inspirations. John Gruden, man, just what he's doing at Barstool with his
Yeah,
with his background and just being a Gruden grinder, but also he's just fucking hilarious.
he
So
is.
I think that's the right blend for us, man, going forward. And yeah,
Yeah,
find your inner pirate. I mean, it's gonna be football focused, but I also got a buddy, my other buddy Drew Newcomb, an Oklahoma guy.
yeah.
He's a big college wrestling fan, and he's gonna come on next week, I think. And
Hell yeah.
there's a big tournament, Big 12 tournament. He loves that shit, so we'll dive in on that. And the Jay Johnson Sports Show has been a lot of fun. That was Porter's idea. I mean, you
Yeah.
really are kind of my producer for that show. It's pretty cool.
Awesome.
And I can't wait to just keep growing and growing with that, man. It's a ton of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, you've been doing good with it. I tune into every single one of them.
I appreciate it.
I think it's a good medium. I
Mhm.
think the shorter you can get them, if you keep them at a short minute, it's like
Mhm.
it's so easy to tune into,
Mhm.
and it's one of those things where you cover the most relevant thing for that day, and I think that's perfect.
I'm always keeping my ear to the ground in the sports world, so
You still here with me, Jay?
you
Jay,
hear me? You hear me?
I can't hear you, dog.
Oh god.
Maybe your microphone died. Can you unplug?
Whatever, for whatever reason, man, this is why I need a fucking desk. Can you hear me? It says the audio's on. Test, test, test.
Jay, where you at, dog? Jay, where you at, dog?
Test, 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 test. Test, test, test. Test, test, test. Test, test, test.
So, Jay, you can hear me. I cannot hear anything you're saying.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Try unplugging.
I did.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear me?
Are you back?
Yeah, I think we're back. Is there a delay?
I can't hear you at all. My guess is your audio has died and you need to unplug that microphone.
Oh,
That's my guess.
Man, and it's so complicated. It just needs to fucking work. So frustrating.
Jay, I hate it, but I'm going to recommend that we go back on Twitter Spaces.
We might have to. Until I can get my own place and a real setup. Test, test, test. Can you hear me? This is crazy, man. It's got to be something on your end, because mine's working fine.
It's fluoride propaganda.
It's got to be on your end, bro.
Oh yeah. I hear.
Can you hear me?
Jay, are you?
Yeah, I mean it's a little. I can hear.
Jay.
Yeah, I can hear you. It's just cutting in and out, like the internet's bad or something. It's laggy. Can you hear me?
Jay. Jay, hear me?
Yeah, I can hear.
Can you hear me? Jay.
Test, 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 test. It's this desktop audio, maybe. I don't fucking know.
Jay.